All right. Want to know how to read tarot cards for yourself? We're checking in with a self-care tip and a collective tarot read for our global tribe and with our global tribe. If you've been here before, make sure to have your tarot or oracle cards ready to pull a card for yourself when we get there.
It's kind of like bingo, but with tarot.
Tingo.
Tingo.
For those of you who are just getting to know us,
I'm Heather.
And I'm David.
From Zen Rose Garden.
Home of Zen and Academy. So we built Zen Rose Garden in 2008 to help people through some of the hardest traumas and emotional upsets of life.
So we are locked and loaded for you guys. Bringing that hashtag Vegas Strong attitude. We got you.
So it is time to tag up which tarot card fits your day today. If you've got cards, now would be the time to pull it out, whip it out, drop it out. Drop it now. If you don't, pick one out of the imaginary tarot deck in your head and drop it in the comments. Just think fast, drop it like it's hot, and let us know what that card says to you intuitively, impulsively, first time, and we'll give you a little insight afterwards.
We were watching Freud on Netflix. Don't know if you guys have caught that yet, but it's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. We just saw episode 2. We just barely started it because we finished.
No, we're on like episode 5.
Yeah, but we watched I feel like we just finished episode 2. But my hardcore tarot nerd came out big time in episode 2 because there are these Hungarian gypsies that Freud is friends with. He's actually got a crush on one of them. But keep in mind, the time period is 1885 when Freud was first studying trauma and hypnosis and how trauma gets stuck in the body and creates physical conditions in the body, which is sort of the beginning of all the kind of stuff we do as healers now. So the gypsy in the thing, she busts out a pack of Rider-Waite tarot cards and starts doing a spread. I went, whoa, can anyone tell me what is wrong with this picture? Just want to see if anyone is as big a tarot nerd as I am. Drop it in the comments if you think you know.
So 1885.
Yeah, and this
1885.
Hungarian gypsies doing a
Rider-Waite tarot deck or Rider tarot deck.
So, okay, I will tell you. These weren't published till 1910. By Arthur Waite. So Hungarian gypsies, if they were doing a read in Austria, were probably using some of the old Italian cards or the old Marseille French cards, the antique ones. Hungary is here and Austria is here and England is way over here. They would have likely gotten Italian. They would have been using Italian cards or French cards.
Lisa says, I knew it. They were time travelers.
Yeah, I'm like, okay, maybe they were time travelers. They
must
went to 1910, got some, you know.
And Enoch, before you actually spilled the beans, Enoch said, Rider-Waite cards weren't a thing yet.
They weren't a thing yet. They weren't published.
Yep.
And it's the funny thing is the deck she was using was the new colorized one, the one that's like, it wasn't even the original deck from the 1910s.
Yeah.
But back to our time frame though, tell us what you think your card means to you. Make sure to put the card in the comments, first impulse, and we'll drop some insight on that card after the collective read. But we want to get you to trust your intuition a little bit more instead of just getting information. So we want you to calmly be able to trust yourself, right?
Calmly trust yourself. Just trust yourself calmly.
Calmly
trust yourself. So what we are saying is that when something goes down
like this,
we want you to be able to trust yourselves and to use your cards as a way to calm and center yourself.
Center yourself. All right.
So let's drop the collective card of the day right now.
I'm so glad you guys do this with every day because honestly,
drop it.
You're keeping us sane and you're keeping me sane because I'm not just.
I don't know that I keep her sane.
Insane.
And Enoch says, Page of Swords in reverse. Time to bite my tongue on something. My recommendation is not to bite your tongue. I hear that it hurts. It hurts every time that I do it. And Lisa says, 4 of Cups. Blessings will soon be poured out on me.
That means take the cup.
Yeah. So we'll give a little bit more after we drop our read. For anybody else, if you've got cards, you want to pull them out, now would be the time to do that. This is first, right?
Yeah. So the first one I pulled, I've been pulling more than just one card every day, but
I'm ready to drop it.
The first card I pulled, and I feel like that I've pulled this for the collective before sometime in the last 2 weeks, but it keeps coming up for us, right? It's the Ace of Pentacles, which is really about a new start in creating something foundationally to pursue that. And it's really about the pursuit of happiness, not just about the pursuit of,
and not about the movie,
not just about money, right? It's about, well, totally, that would be Ace of Pentacles. The Pursuit of Happiness would completely be an Ace of Pentacles movie, the one with Will Smith. But the pursuit of happiness, it's about going out beyond the garden gate, because you see the garden gate in the picture, except right now we can't really, I looked at this card and I'm like, well, we can't really go past our garden gates right now. We're supposed to say inside. So pursue your happiness inside. So I pulled another card to qualify, and it was the Queen of Pentacles upright. And I went, okay, now it makes sense.
This is Heather.
So basically, the Queen of Pentacles, to qualify the Ace of Pentacles, is telling you pursue your happiness just inside. But the Queen of Pentacles is taking care of her children, providing for them, creating nice experiences for them. So if you're a mom and you have kids, spend some time with your kids today. Spend some time with your family. So the Queen of Pentacles spends time with her people and does her best to provide things for them, for their comfort. You know, and I think I've talked about the swords before. The Queen of Swords is like, who do I need to beat up for you, right? But the Queen of Pentacles is like, let's do something nice for you. Let's make a nice meal. Let's enjoy what we have. So I think today, this is about kind of what it's telling us. Let's sit back and enjoy what we have. Pursue that happiness with the ones that we love. So today, it's not really about business so much. It's about family. And if you're a family of one and you're by yourself, create that nurture with yourself. Pursue that happiness with yourself, whatever that means to you.
Whatever that means to you. Lisa says, I'm such a noob. But after listening to Heather, I really want to get into it.
You know,
and then Enoch says, we're all noobs to somebody, Lisa.
It's true. I feel like I learned something new. I've been studying tarot for 30 years, and I feel like I learned something new all the time.
All the time.
But there's always deeper levels to it. But once you learn that the story, which I think,
foundational story,
which I really think isn't taught well nowadays, because I think a lot of the people that taught it well are very hard to understand, like Arthur Waite and Aleister Crowley and some of the old French writers. Arthur Waite kind of congealed a lot of it in his writings, but his writings are harder to understand. They're written kind of post-Victorian. The story of the tarot is really important.
Yes.
And we think we know it, but then we learn more about it and we're like, wow, that's a new angle.
And it's a deeper level.
And it's cool. It's not just a fortune-telling thing. It really didn't start off as a fortune-telling tool. It was used as a fortune-telling tool because it just lends itself to that. But it really, what the tarot was really created as a story of life, a philosophy of life.
It's basically psychology in cards.
Kind of. It's
when it's done right.
Like everything from our physical life to the spiritual ascension. And it's sort of a cycle. And I think it's really beautiful.
It's a bunch of alchemy, a bunch of how do we deal with this life that we're living. And when people usually use cards, they're using it for a way to find guidance or clarity in their life, right? That's what cards are used for. And you've got people that are sometimes get addicted to somebody else telling them so much, and they feel like they don't have the insight. They don't have the knowledge inside of themselves. But a real good tarot reader or person who guides you through your journey anyway is going to bring it back to you and let you know that you already have the answers, even though you may be coming to somebody for a little bit of guidance at a time. But you have the answers already inside of you. Tarot just happens to be one of those tools that you can use to bring that out into the consciousness of your mind. Boom. I just wanted to drop a little knowledge on that. All right. So it is now time for the psychardology. Yes. It is now time for the self-care tip of the day. Just the tip. Something easy that you can do right now to lower stress, fear, anxiety, and depression.
Okay. So here it is. Neuroscientist Andrew Newberg, in his book, How God Changes Your Brain, gives us 8 ways to exercise your brain. But our favorite one is the most overlooked neural enhancing tool there is, and that is of yawning. It's publicly not accepted, right? But as soon as you say the word yawning, I bet you guys are starting to yawn on your end. Just do it. Yawning, here's why. Yawning, and not yawny, but yawning stimulates an
Yawning
area.
can make you yawn.
Yawning can make me go to sleep. Yawning stimulates an area of the brain called the precuneus. Believed to regulate consciousness.
Right.
Okay. And believed to regulate
precuneus.
Believed to regulate self-reflection and memory recall. And it's so effective that neuroscience has found that it quickly brings you into a heightened state of cognitive awareness and better focus. It's why you yawn when you get up. So it's a super simple thing to do. We don't think of doing it. When I do my meditation and sit after my yoga, I purposely yawn 10 times. I purposely have a yawning meditation.
Mm-hmm.
I do my breath work and then I do a yawning meditation, and it takes like 10 minutes. A simple yawn immediately releases tension in the throat. Like as soon as you yawn, it relieves tension in the throat.
Right.
So when I was singing, I would do that without even realizing that was a thing. But I would, and that's sort of a singer warm up. You like do a few yawns and then you do your vocalises because it immediately releases the throat.
Yep. So, and yawning also regulates the temperature and the metabolism of the brain and stimulates several neurochemicals such as dopamine and oxytocin and all of that production in the hypothalamus and the hippocampus, in case you were wondering.
So dopamine and oxytocin you can produce naturally. I don't know if you knew that, especially with oxytocin, you don't have to get it over the counter or from your drug dealer. You can naturally produce it in the brain by yawning. Seriously, you're wasting your money. Also, you're risking, getting arrested. So these are neurotransmitters that regulate pleasure, sensuality, and human bonding, and some chemicals involved with yawning. Also, there's other ones too. There's a lot of different chemicals that when you yawn get stimulated. Glutamate, GABA, which we've talked about before, that gets
Lady GABA
that gets stimulated when you do a 60-minute yoga practice or aerobic exercise. GABA is really good, and serotonin
also good,
and opium derivative peptides. So all of that stuff that is about the pleasure center and the calm down center
and the feel good and the chill out centers.
Yeah.
So yawn as many times as possible. If you can't, fake it a few times, and by the fifth one, you'll be yawning for real.
Like maybe by the third one, and it's so easy to do, right? It's contagious.
Then yawn at least 10 times for optimal stimulation. I'm just going to pause on that word.
So, I mean, honestly, if you're saying by the end of this 30 days, there is no excuse not to meditate. Mm-hmm. And we haven't even brought meditation as a practice yet to we're purposely not giving you meditation in this, because every single one of these little things that you can do every day is like a meditation.
It's faster than meditation.
So if you're saying, I don't have patience to, I have the monkey mind, just sit and yawn 10 times and you've done amazing things for your brain. And here's some quick reasons to stop, drop, and yawn.
1, yawning stimulates your ability to concentrate. Okay.
He just went exhibit on me. Yeah. Yawning optimizes brain activity and metabolism.
Number 3, yawning improves cognitive function and memory recall.
And number 4, it lowers stress. We could all use some of that. Yeah, I mean, I'm a pretty chill person unless you don't give me chocolate and wine consistently.
5, it also relaxes the whole body.
Yes.
Not just the tip.
And enhances the pleasure centers. So it's so easy to do. It really, really, really is.
Lisa says, do you know how to spot a narcissist? They don't have a sympathetic yawn response. You see someone yawn, it makes you yawn too. And Lisa, I'm wondering if that is for a psychopath or a narcissist, because I know some narcissists that actually still have the sympathetic response.
Yeah, I mean, it kind of depends on the degree, because psychopathy,
the person, right?
Well, psychopathy and narcissism are two different things.
Right.
So when you have a narcissist, we all have a degree of narcissism. If we didn't have a degree of narcissism, we would have absolutely no ego. It's when you have an excessive degree of narcissism.
Right.
Because by definition, an empath has a little bit of narcissism and a narcissist. So when you have a true psychopath, then you've got a different animal.
Right.
So it's kind of a splitting hairs thing.
Right. Right. And I'm not trying to call you out and say that you're absolutely wrong.
I don't actually know the answer to that.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
I'm curious.
I'm not certain which one it is. I would imagine it would be more on the psychopathy element instead of just the narcissism element. Because like Heather's talking about, there are actually there's 3 different parts of what's called a dark triad, which is healthy to have in a degree that we have to have to be a whole individual. One of those happens to be narcissism. Another one is Machiavellianism, and the other one, which is
Machiavellianism.
That's the one I just said.
Oh, what is it? Oh,
narcissism, Machiavellianism,
psychopathy. Anyway, that is a whole other video because David's trying to get us into some complex brain balance shit, and that is not what this is about. But it is fascinating, and now we have to do a video on it. But it's called the dark triad and the light triad, and it's you've got 3 parts of the dark shadow self, and then you've got 3 parts of the light, which is like compassion, empathy, and kindness, and then you've got the dark. But if you have too much of one, too much of the light, you actually are just a dish rag that gets
thrown around and
manipulated.
Goes with the wind.
But if you have too much of the dark triad, then you're manipulating the person. So if you're a person that has
a good balance,
then nobody's going to push you around, but you're going to have kindness for everyone. So
there you go.
That's it in a very short nutshell, because David opened that can.
I did. And that's also why we aim for more of a neutral approach where you bring the balance of everything together. Because if you go too far to one extreme or another extreme, you're out of balance. So we prefer balance. That's kind of how we live. No, I love your knowledge. Not taking it that way. Good, Lisa. Good. It is great to be able to drop some knowledge and kind of share back and forth, because we learn new things every day too.
Yeah, but I'm interested about the yawning thing. But yawning, everyone needs to yawn. Sympathetic or not, because it cools the brain.
Yes. And it literally chills you out.
Right. So you need it. Yawning is a mechanism that the human brain takes so much energy to function, right? Because we're kind of got the most of all brain on the planet. We're the primal predator on the planet, right? That's being attacked by the smallest thing on the planet right now. But it takes a great amount of operating power, just like your computer, to run. So yawning is a mechanism that cools the brain off.
Quicker than getting a garden hose in there.
When our brain gets overheated and we're studying a lot, you notice that you yawn.
Burnout.
Or even if you're in the middle of class and you're getting all this information and it's a 2-hour lecture and you're overloading, you might yawn. It's not because you're bored. It's because your body is automatically trying to cool the brain down because you've been thinking. So it's okay to yawn.
Actually, it's healthy to yawn.
It's healthy to yawn, but if you do it in front of your professor, they might think that you're insulting them by being bored, but you're not.
Only if they're not strong enough.
You're just cooling your brain down so that you can access more information.
Page of Swords in reverse.
Okay. The Page of Swords is about a warning or messages, right?
So or bite your tongue.
Well, the Page of Swords upright is about you're checking things out. It's like reconnaissance. It's like spy work. You're looking for dangers and warnings.
Testing the waters. And it's about bringing a warning. Like he's going with his sword, like in front of him, like just in case something happens. He's not actually attacking anybody. He's more like checking things out. He's like checking things out. Then he calls the Knight of Swords and goes, we got to fuck shit up. So the Page of Swords upright is like that. So it could be the Page of Swords reversed for you. We always like to look first at, if it's not without other cards connecting it, you can look clarifying
it. You can look at it as a weaker version upside down. Like you can relax a little bit, stop looking for danger. You've taken care of your family.
Maybe you don't need to bite your tongue.
Yeah. Just chill out a little bit.
Yeah.
It can mean other things too. It can also mean upside down. It can mean in reverse. It could mean you're going to receive some messages that are important.
Yeah, there you go.
Something important in the mail.
All right. And Lisa says 4 of Cups. 4 of Cups upright, I'm presuming. And she says blessings will be soon poured out on me.
Something about it is telling you that in the past, maybe you haven't been open to receiving. There are some cards that if you read them by themselves, they are not quite as clear. And that is why sometimes I pull a clarifying card.
Right.
The 4 of Cups is one of those because it can be telling you that you're stubbornly refusing, or in the past you have stubbornly refused to see the blessings that you already have.
Right.
I've been like, no, I'm going to get something else because I've become jaded and all of that. So the Four of Cups as a single card you pull right now might be like, it's time to look at the blessings that you have and open your arms to receiving.
And Enoch says, do you want me to pull a clarifier? If you're drawn to,
sure,
pull one. If you've got a card, Four of Cups, drink the wine. Wait, was that your clarifier?
Four of Cups. Let's see if I can pop it out real quick. There's so many funny memes
is it
about
even in there?
Yeah, it is. Just because it's like the guy is just sitting there stubbornly refusing to accept the cup, and he's got his arms folded.
Oh, yeah.
And the guy's like, just fucking take the wine already. And that's kind of the whole meaning of the card, is that, it's
being literally handed to you.
And you may not be seeing it. So, or you've been like, no, I don't want that. I want this. I can't find it right now.
Right.
But anyway, yeah. So the Four of Cups is about be open to receiving and take the blessing, look around and see what you have that you haven't been grateful for in the past. So I think the Four of Cups is calling us to be grateful.
And don't be the whiny bitch just sitting there, please. Just take the thing. Just take the damn thing. We want to take a quick moment to tell you about our online community where our Zen heads hang out and where we teach all of our courses, including our comprehensive tarot course.
Zen Academy was an idea that grew from our love of teaching workshops the past 13 years here in Las Vegas. And we saw a change coming in the online space when we started our business and decided to create something more.
24 hours a day, 365 days a year. While we're sleeping, they're learning. While they're learning, we're sleeping.
Well, that's not exactly how it works. It sounds like we're sleeping all the time.
We're sleeping all the time.
No, I'm hanging out there all the time. So Zen Ed Academy is basically a fully operational healing center that fits in the palm of your hand. It didn't just happen overnight. We've been improving it and finessing it for a while now, and crafting and creating our classes for the last 12 years. And they've been online for the last couple, and we keep adding the ones we've taught into our library. And
another good thing about this is it's not just some kind of a one-off pop-up class that's done and gone and you never see it again.
Like learn how to make a crystal grid or stuff you can just grab for free on Google or YouTube, but meaningful courses with information you can't find on Google or YouTube.
Can't find it. It's literally not there unless you Google or YouTube us.
Well, like that old Arthur Waite stuff and all the old, knowledge that isn't really readily accessible anymore.
Right. So if you want in, we made it easy to access not just one of our classes, but over 16 seriously deep PhD-backed classes to binge on to your heart's content, plus all of the lifetime replays. Check that out in the description, and I'm going to drop it in the comments.
Check it in the description.
Drop it in the
Who had the Six of Wands over here? I think I saw somebody drop the Six of Wands.
Lisa said, so confused. Pulled Six of Wands now, and Enoch got the Queen of Swords as the clarifier.
The Six of Wands is about celebrating something. It's about a victory you've overcome. So looking at the things that you may have taken for granted and cherishing those resources. But the Six of Wands is about being victorious over an enemy. But celebrating. It's celebration time. It's not that it's about you're riding in the gates with your crown of laurels. You've overcome the adversity, the enemy at the gate.
And he got the Queen of Swords clarifier.
Protecting the people that you love. But it's like the Queen of Pentacles, like I said in the beginning, she's taking care of her people, by creating comfort, creating creature comforts, physical comforts. The Queen of Swords is taking care of her children. So this might be speaking to the feminine part of you.
Or dressing
there's
up.
Two different parts here it could be. So you tell me which one's for you. Don't listen to David. He's trying to bring out your weird drag queen. So the Queen of Swords can be someone who's a challenge for you right now. That's feminine. That is just has a lot of like biting words,
naggity,
right? So, or it could be that you need to access as a counter to that your inner Queen of Swords, your feminine part that's like stands up for her people, herself, and her children. Yeah. So that's kind of the thing about the Queen of Swords. Queen of Swords reversed might be more like this person who's nagging you or being kind of an ass.
Yeah. So Flossie. Great name, by the way. Says, gosh, I've missed you too. And thanks. Now I can't stop yawning. It's good for you. It cools your brain. It alleviates stress, anxiety, and tension.
Yawn.
Literally. Yawn, yawn, yawn. Flossie says she got the 5 of Pentacles. Flossie, let us know in the comments what your intuitive read on the 5 of Pentacles means for you right now. If you want to pull a clarifier, now would be a good time to do that as well. So the 5 of Pentacles.
That's kind of, you're in the middle of the shit. The 5 of Pentacles. You're in the middle of the storm. You're waiting for summer to hit. It's a little bit, it's a tough time right now.
5 of Pentacles, by the way.
Yeah, you're trudging through it, but you're going to make it because
you're on lockdown, but you're going to make it.
You're going to make it. There's hope. There's hope.
Yeah. It's not the end of the road. You're still traveling.
There's not many Pentacles cards that are struggle cards, but the 5 is the 5 of Pentacles upright.
Yeah.
You're a little bit in the struggle. Times are tough. You're tightening the belt, but you can make it through it. So.
All right.
Hell yeah, you guys.
Yeah, this was awesome. Thank you guys for joining us. So remember,
smile,
laugh,
exercise your mind,
hug yourself.
Hug yourself right now. Do it with us. Be calm. Breathe. Practice allowance.
Have some faith, hope, and optimism.
Get physical. Get your exercise on. Listen.
Let's get physical.
I have to remember to leave. I have to remember to leave DJ soul funk moments.
Yes.
Listen to some music and yawn. Do your yawning. You could do all of these little tips in one meditation, right?
Yep.
Do them all.
It'll take 15 minutes. So Flossie says, intuitively, I've moved further in my awakening. Yeah, that's another good one because you're basically halfway through the storm and you're just trudging along with Tiny Tim.
And like halfway through, there's going to be some snowshoes and you can be like, no problem.
Yeah.
Right.
That card kind of reminds me of Tiny Tim going.
Kind of, yeah.
Yeah. Anyway.
By the way, Robe Life,
since you've watched this far, be sure to check out some goodies that we've got for you. There's a link in the description below. If you like this video,
hit the like button.
Hit it. If you want to see more like this,
be sure to subscribe.
Come on, I thought we were doing a duet.
Oh, are we?
And spank the bell to turn notifications on.
So you're the first to know
when we drop a new lightsaber or video.
Or go live.
And now it's time to check out these videos over here and over here and over here and over here.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you guys for watching, and we will see you in the next video.